Shoo. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my little office here. Little Q&A session here. Haven't done a live in a little bit by myself. Done a few lives of recent, and just want to come on here and answer any questions that you guys have. This is usually some pretty good stuff that everybody can benefit from. So if you got a question, start asking away. Oh yeah, what up? What up? Who we got in the chat? I need to get a rabbit air for the office. That's the next move. That's the next move. Bobby Bear, what up, brother? Justin Ewing, what up, man? Canada, exterior, Facebook user. Don't know who you are, but I think you got to give Facebook like the permission thing. They ask you to show your name or something. But where's this at? Lean and Mean. This is at Lean and Mean, and this is on the YouTube channel. So, oh yeah, man. I hope you guys are doing good. A lot of cool stuff coming down the pipe, and very, very, very excited about it to release. What's up, my man, John Maccabee? Hey, Bobby, I think I might have hacked it, right? Hacked the APAI. There we go. Lean and mean, cuz I love it. Some of you guys starting out super lean and mean. That's what it is. You know, the whole thing about lean and mean is to figure out, or for me to kind of show you the framework of how to truly optimize that one truck business. I think if you can operate, lean and mean and make that business super profitable, right? You're marketing heavy, you're making high ticket profits, right? We get some of these, how do I say, the variables in business. We start figuring out how to make them predictable. That's the idea. Okay. Before we expand, if you're going to expand, you want to make predictable money all the time. You want to have your contacts right. You want to have your email lists right. Okay. You want to be marketing to those email lists. You want to have recurring customers. I think a lot of people in service businesses always expand too fast. And I think lean and mean is the real foundation to expansion. Some of you guys are going to want to be lean and mean forever, and that's fine. That's completely fine, dude. High speed, low drag. You know what I mean? Obviously, if you're wanting to make this thing a big monstrosity, then you can do that too. There's nothing holding you back. It wasn't my path. Wasn't something I was interested in doing. Obviously, you guys have kind of seen now, you know, with some of the products and stuff that we released, some of the equipment and cool stuff that's coming out. I haven't even showed you the coolest stuff that's coming down the pipe yet. That was something that was my main interest, is how do I innovate? How do I make this thing better? Right? How do I push what I believe I can do and what others believe I can do? Right? You know, I came into this, dude, and a lot of people wrote me off, you know, just like my ex-wife, right? Wrote me off. Thought I was just gonna tuck my tail and run, spiral downward into alcoholism or something. It's not gonna happen, bro. So for me, this is really fun because now some of the innovations and stuff that we've been working on for a long time are coming out, and people get to use them, they get to see them, and they get to kind of understand where my head's at. Oh man, let me see here what we got, baby. Keeping it lean and mean. Whitaker, what up? Aaron, have you heard what? Let's see. Let me see if I can even answer this. Ball valve usage, bad on pumps being variable orifice size. Pressure washing pumps. No. I mean, it's just gonna, your unloader is gonna bump into bypass. I mean, if you're using a fan tip and you let off the trigger, it's going to bump into bypass. It's not going to be bad on any pump. Some of you guys need to know that if you're using your washer a lot, and I'm talking about a hell of a lot. All right. Some of you guys don't use it enough to really, and you may use it every day, but you're not using it enough to really experience this. Your unloader eventually will go, and that's fine. You just get a new unloader and you attach it and you're good. And that's the unloader is what happens when you let off the trigger. That pump has to send the water that it was sending through the gun somewhere else now. Okay. So it sends it into a bypass loop back to your tank, or for some of you guys running like a 4 gallon a minute, some fours and smaller units, they don't have it because they're not pushing enough water, which does run the risk of an overheating situation on some of the smaller units that don't have a bypass or an outlet. Some of them do have an outlet, and it's like a little poppet that you can pull and it'll start blowing out that poppet. And this is on the small units. I'm talking to the new guys. But in the 8s, that would go. So I wouldn't even worry about ball valve usage, man. If your unloader goes, I don't know, it's like $100 or something. Like that's you guys got to know, like, for me, I do not care about buying equipment, buying chemicals. What I mean by that is buy it. Okay. I come from the school of, like, you guys have your business up and running. You need to have the confidence. You need to stop nickel and diming your business. And some of you guys are still trying to skirt the main issue, and it's in you. It's your childhood. It's who your father was. It's who your uncle was. It's who you grew up around, right? It's always this mentality of try to piece it together before we actually do it the right way. And what inevitably, because if you do one thing one way, right, you do all things the same way. I forget the actual quote, but that's exactly what it is you do the same thing with your taxes. If you even do taxes, okay, you're piecing it together. You're turbo taxing it over here, right? Which you should just hire an accountant. For a lot of you guys don't know, and I'll get to some of these comments, but for a lot of you guys don't know, an accountant for a new guy is really cheap. So maybe this might be the direction of this live. An accountant for a new guy, it's like $100 a month. You ain't got shit going on. So they're not going to charge you an arm and a leg. If you have multiple businesses, if you have holding companies, right, and all of these businesses have to file at the end of the year, that's when it starts getting a little more expensive. But the cool thing about it getting more expensive is you're making more money, so you don't care. So some of you guys need to make a call to an accountant tomorrow and not try to do this yourself. I don't do any of it myself. I have a team that I pay happily pay them. And I look it over, of course, but I'm not wasting my time going through spreadsheets and numbers and looking at all that. That's not a good investment of my time. I know what I'm spending, and I for sure know what the profits are. Okay. Like, and I will tell you, the profits are a fraction. The spending is a fraction of the profits. Okay. So I don't ever get into a danger zone, or I don't ever spend frivolously enough to where I'm sitting here worried about cash flow. Okay. No, I don't operate that way. It's lean and mean. It's lean and mean through and through. Okay. So hire an accountant, bro. It's like 150 bucks a month. Oh my gosh. If you got to pay 200 a month, pay it, because an audit and not being above board, the penalties that you will pay whenever you do get your accountant down the line, speaking from experience, you will have to pay a penalty, and the penalty will cost 4 times more than the accountant would have cost in the situation. So call to action, get you an accountant tomorrow. Okay. They're closed right now. It's 8 p.m. where I'm at. Call them tomorrow. Exterior, man, awesome. I love that you're loving the course, smashing $1 million homes after 3 weeks of being in business. Exterior, that is amazing. Where I'm from in Alabama, that means something. $1 million homes means something. In Nashville, that would mean that you're pressure washing shacks right now, which I'm bitter about it, just because I'm looking for a place, and you're like, well, So I either have to live 3 hours away or I live in a shack downtown, right? It's amazing what real estate, but that's awesome, dude. That's so awesome. Let's see. Can you use a 37 max PSI, I guess, surface cleaner with a 4200 PSI? Yeah. Uh, she Murphy. Hey, tell me what brand you're using. I've never looked at the max PSI on surface cleaners. Okay. I've never actually looked at that. I always just use the hell out of it. You know what I mean? If she's spinning, I'm grinning, baby. You know what I mean? Let's go. All right. Whitaker's. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Shoo, Murphy. Can you use a 4,000 max PSI hose? Yeah, here's the thing. I don't I don't advise guys touching their unloaders, but you can dial the unloader down a little bit, you know, y- at your own risk. All right. If you're going to start messing with the unloader, I don't advise it, but you can dial the PSI down a hair. Just don't go to twisting on it a lot. Okay. Don't go twisting on that a lot because you will be buying a new unloader. But you can dial the machine down. You can also get a pressure gauge if you want to hook it up to see what the true PSI, if you're really worried about it. But I would say you'd be fine here. Okay. What's up from Georgia? Full time, ditch the slave job. That's the whole goal, baby. We got to get out of the slave job, get lean and mean, start making profits, rewrite our family history. Okay. Rewrite the history, rewrite what we're teaching our sons about how we operate and how we work. Okay. That's the whole goal of this channel from the beginning, because that's what I went through. Hey, man, I really appreciate that. Come to WashCon Live in September. It's going to be VIP. So everybody that comes to WashCon Live is going to get the entire video WashCon Live of all the presentations for free. Okay, so you're going to get to watch it over and over and over again. This is because WashCon has become VIP day. It's going to be 2 VIP days. You buy one day at a time. So one group will go one day, another group will go the next day. And you're going to sit with Mike, Cody, Justin, and myself. You're actually going to sit with us and we're going to dive into your business. Talk to anybody who's come to WashCon Live, and they will tell you it is a game-changing event. Let's go, bro. Let's go. Amen, dude. Maximizing one truck. After you maximize the one truck and you get everything in line, and you're really like, you go through that first year, you're into year 2. The year 2, one truck, 250,000 is going to be pretty easy to do if you're staying on the marketing. 300,000 is not unheard of. Year 3, you could be knocking on 300, 350, start getting into some serious government contracts and stuff like that, a big commercial apartment stuff. Your Google's starting to really pop. Your website's starting to rank at the top of the city or wherever you are. That's kind of how the formula should work. If you're not in the inner circle, guys, and you're serious about it, jump in. There's some inner circle guys. We got John Maccabee. John Maccabee's in the inner circle, bro. John does like 60 to 70,000 a month. So my question, to some of you guys, what is that worth, right? Being around guys like Mike Turman, John Mack. Turman's probably going to do $1 million this year for sure, because he almost did $1 million last year. Okay, he's going to do over $1 million this year, and then you get the core 4 in there as well. So a lot of killers, all great attitudes in there. No BS. We do not. I'm talking about no BS, but all great attitudes in there, man. Good people. All right, lad. Let's see. Dude, y'all got some great questions, bro. These things, they keep going. Let's see. All right, let's see. Making the jump today. Quick question. I'm going to do this pressure wash and fence job paint from the last person who did it. Well, It has paint from the last person. So you can probably paint over that for sure. I don't know what this thing looks like, but you can definitely paint over that. I don't know if a stain is going to be in order if it's already been painted. So that's going to be a challenge. A stain is a little more of a penetrant with a color, and a paint sits on top. So that's going to be an interesting thing. You could definitely repaint it though. Explain how you set up and run bleach. Bobby, re-ask that question a little clearer for me because um I'm not exactly sure what you mean there. TC's what up in the house, Rhode Island, crushing it. The smallest state, but the biggest heart, my boy TC's, man. Have a backup unloader. Run it, dude. Exactly right. You got a backup. See, I like this guy, right? I don't know who, Facebook user. I don't know who he is, but he's got a backup. Jump from 8 to 10. Ohio house wash. Having trouble getting a strong mix. Do you have any advice? Do I need to jump to a half-inch line, or is there another answer? Okay. The first answer is Skunk Wash Works just came out with the skunk check valve. Now, there's been check valves out there, but none with the Hastelloy spring. Hastelloy is actually, if you Google Hastelloy, it is the least corrosive alloy on the planet. And doing some research on Hastelloy, and it's been in springs for years, just no one had ever pushed it like skunk to put it in that check valve system. So go to SelfEsteem and buy the check valve system. Ben Wilson's using it here right now. There's a few new guys. It just released this week, but it will give you a hotter mix. And he uses a 10 with a K7 unloader. You'll see it in a lot of my videos, and he's getting a much, much stronger mix. You can do a jump line, just like a little jumper, from like a half-inch from, maybe your machine to your downstream injector. By the way, the check valve will screw right into your downstream injector. So you just take the barb off the downstream injector, take the spring and the ball out, and then just screw the check valve in there. It will give you a hotter mix. We've tested it with an 8-gallon. It's given about a 30% hotter mix than a stock downstream injector. So it can clean light stucco, and we've tested it there. I'm not going to promise you it's going to be cleaning bad stucco, but we've seen it clean drive it with the mix, which normally meant that we had to do that. But Ben has been noticing that he's been able to hit some drive it and it clean it right up. So that's definitely a hotter mix than downstreaming. And guys, listen, for downstreaming, when you go up in GPM, you're going down in the potency of the mix the downstreamer can pull. So, for instance, if you are running a downstreamer on a 4-gallon, like a 2.1 on a 4-gallon, the mix is going to be hotter because only 4 gallons a minute is passing through that injector. Okay. So when you double it, or more than double it, to 10, all right, you're going to have basically half of the potency. So a lot of guys have to compromise with the 10-gallon. They love the rinse speed, but what they're running into there is the injector is still pulling the same amount it was pulling on the 4, and they're having a trouble getting a strong mix like Ohio is here. So grab the check valve at SelfEsteem.com. Hastelloy spring, Skunk Wash Works, only one in the game. You will not be disappointed. It sucks like a madman, dude. It's crazy. How do you deal with all this involved running alone? Phone answering, marketing, returning calls. Okay. Well, so you guys hear me talk about this a lot. I don't answer my own calls. Okay. I have a team that does that. All right. So first off, that's key. That'll give you a lot of peace of mind, give you a lot of time back for you to clean and for you to think. Okay. Because we get calls all day long. I'm getting calls at 11 p.m., 10 p.m., and they're answering, getting taken, right? The message is getting taken. Okay. Second in marketing, the $199 deal at Footbridge Media. That's where you should start. That's not the only avenue, but you should start there. Okay. Call them, tell them I sent you. I'm the only one that's got it. Now, the returning calls is great because now all you have to do is return the calls that need calling back. So what you're going to find is if you have somebody answering the calls and it's not you, a lot of the calls are stupid. They don't deserve a callback. Okay. They're Angie's List. They're, their home advisor, their people, their solicitors, right? It's some spam, right? They're stuff that you don't even need to be talking to. But guess what? You know what you would do because you're a business owner, and it could be an out-of-towner who just moved into town and you don't know the area code. You're going to answer it and your day's going to get interrupted. If you have somebody answering the calls, right? Your peace of mind, which is priceless. I know a lot of you guys don't think this. You don't think this way. I know. I've been in this game for a while. Okay. For a while now. All right. I've been in here at least 5 years, 6 years now. Okay. So I know a lot of you guys don't put a premium on your time. And that's the education of the channel. The whole point of Lean and Mean wasn't to make $20,000 a month. Okay. The point of Lean and Mean was to play with my son. Okay. Then it was to make $20,000 a month. Like I value my son, playing with my son, more than I care about the money, but the money has to happen so I can play with my son. So, but the point of it is with time freedom was to like not answer phone calls. Okay. And like, here's the thing. I'm not one of those guys who sits there and says, oh, well, everybody deserves a call back. No, they don't. Everybody doesn't deserve a call back. Let me tell you my rule. If they don't leave an email, they don't get a call back. But what if they're going to, I don't care. I don't want their money. I don't care. Here's what happens. If you call into the company, don't call my company, by the way. All right. Do not do that shit. I will be livid. But if you call a company and they have a set criteria of rules, and my people know if they don't leave an email, those people are not getting a call back. Why? Because I set the rules. I train my customer as to how I'm going to be treated. All right. And if they're not willing to follow those rules, they're not going to get a call back. I don't operate on the customer's time. I operate on my time. But here's the deal. The day I tell you I'm going to be there and the time I tell you I'm going to be there, okay, I'm going to be there. And I'm going to do an excellent job. But do you see? I just wish some of you guys would get this, man. If you're willing to do excellent work, okay, if you're willing to go the extra mile every time, you can have this attitude. You can. If you do excellent work, you can have the attitude in order to choose who you work for. And everybody doesn't deserve your time. All right. Some people think they're going to put you under their spell. They want to suck you into their paradigm. We call it frame. If you're dating women, it's called frame. You're either in her frame or you're in your own frame. And you are going to be in your own frame if you're going to retain the power in the situation. Once you get into her frame, you're over here talking like you outpunted your coverage and you got to ask the wife. And that's when she holds the frame, AKA wears the pants. So here's the thing. You always wear the pants in the business. No customer wears the pants in your business, but the customer's always right. And you're stupid. You're really stupid if you believe that. They're not. How would they be right? Why would they be calling me if they're right? If they knew how to do it and had the equipment, they do it themselves. They don't know anything about cleaning. They don't know anything about chemicals and all of the different stains and blights that happen on substrates. If they did, they'd be doing it themselves. They know nothing, so they're not right. Okay? They're wrong. A lot of you need to hear this, man. A lot of you need to snap out of this little simp land you've been in for a long time. A lot of you have been in simp land. And I get it, because being broke will put you in simp land. You'll simp for freaking $20 because you're broke. The problem is that you have to figure out how to get the money in the beginning, right? Because you got to have it if you're broke. You got to figure out how to get the money. But you also have to maintain, and that's why you watch this channel, to maintain the high ticket mentality to where you can get your tickets up, to where you can stop simping for the money. Okay. Some of you guys, AKA, are going to have to be prostitutes in the beginning. That's not ideal. Well, I'm going to do this one for free. Okay. But just, you put a time limit on whatever you're doing. Okay. I'm going to do it at a discount for a few months. But after that, it's high ticket like AP talks about. Okay. You have to put a deadline on the mentality, because if you don't, you will spiral downward. And in 2 years, you're still doing jobs for $200 and you just can't figure out why you're not making no money. Well, that's why it's right in front of you. It's right in front of you. You just don't want to do it, or you're scared to do it, which is fine. It's okay to be scared. Everybody's scared. If you start figuring it out, man, everybody has fears like that. Everybody has fear of rejection. It's born in. Fear of rejection from the tribe. But what I've learned is if you tell the tribe to kick you out, right? Metaphorically, right? You say, hey, get rid of me, bro. Kick me out. The tribe starts to wonder, why does he want to be kicked out so bad? Well, we're not kicking him out. If he wants to be released, we're not going to release him. You see? That's all you had to do. If you stop wanting it, it'll start following you. You see? But you still have to be excellent. You still have to do excellent work. But you can't want it too much. You wanting it too much is a stinky cologne. And everybody smells it. And you can't even figure out why. It's an energy. Everybody listening to this right now knows I'm right. Everybody listening to this knows I'm right. Because the girl you couldn't get, she smelt it. You know why the quarterback in the movie or in real life gets the girl? Because he don't need her. That's why. If he needed her or he wanted her, she wouldn't be interested. She'd wonder, why is this person, this is customer too, why is this person so interested in me? See, customers and the girl you're looking at don't have the self-esteem you think they do. They don't. Customer says, why is he so interested? Why is he so follow-uppy all the time? Why is he so at my beck and call? Why is he so cheap? Does he need me? I can't be needed. I'm not worth being needed. I want someone who doesn't need me. There you go. He said, love my brute cologne. That takes me back, man. That takes me back, man. Greg, you got to push through it, my man. You got to push through it. Push through it, man. He tripled his prices from 2021. He don't have as many calls. Nevertheless, I do have less work and more cash flow. See, the whole point wasn't to work. The point was to make money so we can get time. You see, Jill's office is great. Call them, tell them Cody Yarbrough, Southeast Soft Wash guy sent you. I think they got a deal for those guys who are going through. Cody uses them. Cody's their top. He is their top. How do I say this? Volume. Okay, Cody has so many calls that they field for him. They have to allot like multiple people to field all the calls. I use 5.5, applying Kim, so it works well. I can't outwork it. Let's go. Awesome, Sterling. Question, Mike Turman in the house. What up, bro? Yeah, hold on. What distributor sell a gallon of seen with the auto speed when the trigger is not pulled on the water gun? Stress sales them. Auto speed. You're gonna have to clarify what that means to me because that may be an Australian word, Mike, but I don't know it. The auto speed. It's definitely a y'all call it something and we call it something else. The auto speed when the trigger is not pulled on the water gun. It sounds like an unloader to me because that's the only thing happening when the trigger is not pulled on the water gun is the unloader. My boy Reel and Chill, third $1,000 day, and it's only the fifth, bro. Dude, 45% is right where you want to be on your approval rate on your estimates. Dude, you're killing it, bro. Stucco. Yes. All right. So I did caveat, right? Like it's cleaning light, drive it, stucco. Mainly drive it, not that old school stucco that was on like the parsonage at your church. All right. Not that it ain't that damn Egyptian stucco. All right. That it ain't that level. All right. It's still downstreaming, but we did do a draw test. It's 30% more going through the skunk valve than is going through a regular downstreamer. So thumbs up. And they last with the Hastelloy spring. We haven't had one die yet. Okay. Now I'm sure they will because you're running 12% through it. All right. You're running at tacky. It's going to die eventually, but it will last a lot longer than a downstreamer and it will give you a hotter mix. Downstreamers, dude, I've had downstreamers. I bought them, bought so many of them. I've had them to where like right out of the box, they didn't work, which is very frustrating because you put it together, you know, you don't have a ton of them and it did not suck Kim. So you never know. Sometimes stuff can get into it. Let's see. Chemicals, surfactant, 15 gallon, bleach, 55. That'll work. Oh, this is a great question. And I've kind of lived in this. I have something else coming down the pipe that I think you guys are going to really, really like. That's all I can say about that right now. It's, I'm trying to figure out a way to convey this excitement. You're going to have a really hot mix on a downstream. Okay. This will be releasing sometime this year for sure. You're going to be able to have probably a 3 or a 4-to-1 on a downstream. It's going to be wild. How much dilution happens when downstreaming? Well, a lot. Downstreaming has been around for a long time, and they never really have nailed the process. It's kind of a finicky little machine, a little apparatus operating on the Venturi principle. Old Giuseppe Venturi out in Italy, you know, figure out that if you create a vacuum in a pressurized vacuum, that it will suck chemical or water or whatever, but a lot of dilution. Now, it all depends on the orifice size inside of that downstreamer and how much it's sucking. Okay. It also depends on the PSI and the GPM. So you got a few different variables there. So I can't really, there's a lot going on. But most downstreaming is probably 0.5% or at most to 1% at most. That's probably what a 4-gallon would be running with a big check valve and maybe the skunk valve. He'd probably be hitting a little over, probably like 1.5 with that. A damn. Let me see here. Let me USB FaceTime. It's gonna be shitty, but we're gonna do it. There we go. All right. Let's go. Hold on. Let's see here. My decided to try to overheat. So let's use this here. I've been running it for a good while, so yeah, there we go. Lean and mean, bro. Lean and mean. What up? Okay. Stainless lasts about a year. That's great. Let's see. Yeah, Brandon's saying, should you use a foam cannon to apply? Kim, a bad idea. Yeah, I wouldn't apply Kim. I mean, think about it, dude. You got like a 20-ounce jug right there. You're having to like figure out soap. You're dumping Kim everywhere. I've seen guys do it. It's all new guys. It's all rookies doing it. It's just not something that you should keep doing because it's just inefficient. Pull bleach from a container, pull from a 5-gallon bucket in the ground below the pressure washer, if that makes sense. Oh, yes. All I know that if you get the check valve on, Wizard, okay, you get the skunk valve, that dude's gonna suck. It don't care where, because we're running it from a drop stick. So it's pulling all the way up the vertical drop stick through the tube into the smart stream, through the smart stream into the skunk valve. So let me keep scrolling here. Do you really need the ID filtration for the water fed? Bro, water fed needs all filtration. Okay, because let me tell you something, man. Some guys, I've never had a water fed that didn't have the RO and the DI. I had both. I had 3 filters. I had a charcoal filter right off the bat. I had a deionizer at the end of it, and then I had a reverse osmosis in the middle. Okay, and every now and then we would still have a little water spotting going on. So I would just say all the filtration, because the worst thing is that you buy a piece of equipment and it doesn't do well. And here's the thing, dude. Like, I've always loved Panerai watches, right? I've always loved Panerais. All right. It's one of my favorite watches. They're very unique. Not a lot of guys have them. But I would not wear a watch until I bought a Panerai. So why? Because it's going to do what I want it to do. It has everything I need. Don't outgun yourself with a water fed pole. Why? Because you're going to spend the money. All right. Even cheap one's not cheap. So go ahead and get the reverse osmosis and the deionized situation. Make sure that you, especially if you're out west, bro, you need to have like 3 reverse osmosis situations going on, because you'll have crazy hard water out there. Okay. So you do need a TDS meter, as Juan Wizard would say. All right. Just don't cheap out. There's a reason that there's some big water fed pole filtration systems. I'm not saying you need the top one. I'm just saying you need one that's going to really take care of it. Don't cheap out on the situation. All right. Oh, let's see here, boy. Let me see if I can cool this dude off. I think it's because I'm running that thing in 4K video, and that's why it's overheated, probably. See, and that could be the truth, right? The water quality in your area is probably better. Some of these guys don't have good water quality, and they buy a cheap water fed pole. And what I mean by cheap is like less than $1,000. Okay. That's what I mean by cheap. You don't have to buy the $5,000 rig, but less than $1,000 for some of you guys, especially out west, bro. It's just like, now you're going to be working on it again, adding more filters. Thank you for the super chat, Aunt Mo. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you, my friend. Single wire, non-marking, SelfEsteem.com. Grab yourself one. Single wire is my favorite. I don't like double wire. Just they heavy, cuz. All right. Some of you guys, I get it. You want to run a tank. All right. You like the tank of everything. You like the Abrams. But all you need to know is that everything that you're toting around that yard, you're going to be toting it around all day in the summer, in the heat, pulling it, tugging it. Okay. Just get a single wide. Just get a single wide. Get the goddamn single wide trailer by go. You don't need the double wide. Okay. Get you a single. No, get you a single wire hose, and it's light. Okay. And it's easy to pull around. And then when it blows, you can patch it if you want, or you just keep a stack of them. My brother, Pierce, he has an actual pallet of hoses, and then he has another pallet of blown hoses. So what do? They just go grab another one, throw it on the truck. Okay. Are you able to use the vehicle you use to pressure wash as a? You dang right you are, bro. Absolutely. Absolutely, my friend. See, dude, let's see. I got to figure out how to do old super chat on here. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out on a different time. This is the free chat, yeah. This is the free chat. The Southeast Soft Wash have any plans for an electric hose reel? Um, it's not at the top of the list. I will just say that. Hose reels have a lot going on. They're heavy in respect to what they are. Most people want the cheapest one they can find, and we're not interested in selling 5 of them. So we're more interested in selling 5 million of them. So you kind of have to, you got to pick your battles first. We have something coming out that's way more exciting than an electric hose reel, and we have a few things coming out. The Batch Buster for you gas pump guys is bar none. Buy the manifold, buy it built by Southeast, okay, with the blue ball. The blue ball is going to change your life. We have guys with booster pumps who are getting another 18 to 20 feet using the Batch Buster, okay, with those high flow systems. You can use Mike Turman, my man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, my friend. Mike Turman, shout out. Pick up Power Wash out in Ewing, New Jersey. The Batch Buster changed the game for this reason. The flow on it, and we'll have, full documentation on that coming out. But the flow is not even, it's not even a close race to second place. A lot of guys have issues with high flow systems like AR systems, boosters, air. Those are air pumps last a long time, but then you got to carry a compressor. They don't have as much flow as some of those other ones. I don't like any of those other pumps, but if you're running it and you shut off to a rinse, a lot of times that's going to shut all of that flow off on the valve except the water. Okay. The manifold is now just running water, no bleach, and you're trying to rinse with that. Well, the problem in the old systems before Batch Buster and the Super Bowl is that a lot of your height now dissipates because you were running 2 valves with bleach and water and soap, And now you're just running water. So a lot of the potential flow that was there is now gone. All right. Well, what the Super Bowl has done is it is now allowing, and I need to get the math on this because it's coming close to 10 gallons a minute through one valve. All right. Don't quote me on that because I will have exacts for you, but the guys using them who are using those high flow systems are getting a lot more flow, a lot more rinse speed, and their height isn't dropping off when they switch over to just a rinse. Okay. And a lot of times, what are you running? I mean, think about it. Most of the time, when you're needing flow, you're not running 6% bleach. You're not running both valves wide open. You're never running that. How often are you running that where you really need flow? Let me tell you, never. Okay. Why? Because what are you spraying 10 gallon a minute, 15 gallons a minute on that is 6%? You ain't holding it open long. Otherwise, the whole yard is crispy. Every boxwood for a mile is talcum powder. Okay. So you're not. So it's usually very small percentages, but it's high demand. And that's why gas pumps go bad so often isn't because of the bleach. It's because the restriction in those systems is not allowing them to have enough flow. A blue ball. You dang right, Sterling. That's exactly what I said. And you won't forget it. Thanks, brother. Hey, thanks, Sterling, for the super chat, my friend. I really appreciate that, brother. You talk business, man. Listen, baby. Wait, I'm gonna tell you. Before they bring another basket of rolls out, we gonna go to the top. All right, we talk business. Gonna write this off. Uh, the skunk and some electric hose reels. I will tell you that a few other things are going to come out. If that comes out, a few other things are going to come out that will be game changing. No question. There is not a question. It's going to piss off about 40% of the industry. It's going to piss them off because they don't want this to happen, but it's going to happen. It's going to be good. It's going to be great. It's going to be great for you guys. You guys watching, but a lot of the old heads, they're not going to like that. We have the capability of doing this. It's going to be great. I can't get him to, man. Justin won't smoke a stogie. Thoughts on the booster pumps? Look, man, to each his own. It's similar to ARs in that, meaning the gas pumps. Gas pumps require a lot of maintenance. If you've ever seen a gas pump schematic, a lot of parts, a lot of things to go wrong. A lot of them leak. I mean, they got entire forums of guys like hanging out, talking about the problems of the gas pump. It's, I guess if you like working on your stuff, it's for you. Booster pumps require, it might be 110. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but they require a lot of draw. Okay. So you can't really run them on a 24 volt system or a 12 volt marine to run that booster pump. And if you're talking like a Gould's booster pump, which a lot of guys, that's what they would be running, you're going to have a lot more amperage to run that. Okay. TCs, it ain't. It ain't. It ain't. Don't give it away now. Shoot, cedar stain roof and outside kitchen. On an outside kitchen. I don't know, bro. That's like the final level in Mario. Like I'm waiting on Count Chupa to come out on the dragon. Like that cedar stain, anything with cedar staining, and you're spraying bleach around it, trying not to hit it. You're gonna hit it. So you're gonna have to figure out a way around that. What size hose should I get if I want 100 feet monster hose with a 4 gallon a minute? Just a single wire, 3/8, man. 100 foot, 50 foot, put them together. And it's not. To each his own. Booster pumps, again, what I was talking about. You're going to be cleaning them. So you have to rebuild booster pumps. All right. That's the big issue. That's what I had a stack in the back and they were just all dead. It's not meant for that. That's the big thing, is that it's not really built for that. No, nor were gas pumps. They're not roof pumps. The industry has decided to place that name upon them because they want you to believe they're roof pumps, and that's fine. That's a sales pitch, but they're not built for even touching bleach. They're actually built for fertilizer, which is not corrosive. They're built for spraying trees on ag farms and pesticides and all kinds of stuff. They're not built for bleach, and that's one of the big things, is that um, the restriction and the valve systems kill them. Bleach obviously kills everything, but I don't think that's the main situation. And they're just, look, if you love to tinker on your stuff and you like to spend your time working on it, then just you can get some of that, right? If that's what you like to do. Some guys love to do it. Does Mike use my contract? I would assume that whatever contract is probably my contract, but I don't know exactly what contract Mike uses. I haven't asked him that question. A lot of guys use. It's the one that a lot of guys want to knock off. It's the best one in the game. Mike Turner says, "You're damn right." Mike says, "Yes, I do." He says, "Yes, I use that contract." How many feet of hose before line lose on his 4-gallon minute, a 2-wire? I don't know, Mike. I actually don't know. You're hilarious with your text messages. How to prevent lines from running? Surface cleaner. So there's a few ways to do that. The first way to prevent lines is to idle your machine down. That was kind of always my way, and I never had a problem with lines. 8-gallon a minute machine, I'll just idle it down. I would never really clean new concrete with a surface cleaner. If it's brand new and it's still got like beautiful new cream on top, okay, I would not touch it with a surface cleaner. I would ball valve it, okay? That's what I would do. The second way is to make sure you have the right tips for your machine in your surface cleaner. That's the second way, okay? And I would do all of them. I would idle the machine down. I would make sure I have the right tips in my surface cleaner. And I would never clean brand new concrete with a surface cleaner. If it's been cleaned before, I would always, with new concrete, I'm always trying to get around putting a surface cleaner on it. That's the goal. I'm trying to soft wash it. I'm trying to ball valve it. I'm trying to put Mud Mayday on. If there's mud stain on the new concrete, I'll put Mud Mayday on it and I'll ball valve it and I'll blend it real nice. Because you have to think, new concrete doesn't have a lot of the stainage, and it doesn't have the stains haven't been sitting there and growing for a year or two. Otherwise, it wouldn't be new. So why are you gonna, why do you need to surface clean that if it's brand new? And brand new concrete has the most susceptibility to developing lines with a surface cleaner. A lot of you guys are just not running the right tips. Y'all run these little baby surface cleaners. Okay. I see it all the time. Y'all run a little baby surface cleaner with a 4,200 PSI Simpson. Okay. And that is a recipe for a checkerboard out there on the driveway. Why? Because you ain't going to spend the money on a real surface cleaner and you ain't going to spend the money on a real pressure washer. Okay. And you're not going to buy the right tips, right? For that machine. My machine at 8 gallons a minute is only 3,500 PSI. Some of you guys getting these Home Depot machines have 700 more PSI capability than my 8-gallon a minute machines. You see? And you're using a tiny surface cleaner with real tiny tips. So it's shooting 1,000 billion PSI down and it's swirling. That's what's drawing these lines out. All right. If she's pulling you, don't follow her. 20-inch with stock tips. I mean, a 20-inch, is it like a whisper wash? Everybody says raise your prices, lower your clothes. Hey, keep it high ticket, dude. High close. Hey, keep your ratio high. Keep your tickets. And I think you live in an area where people got some money, so I don't think you're worried about that. No easy fix for etched concrete. um, I just like a whisper wash or a BE. Cody has some BEs in stock. They're great. I never used one with wheels. I always like just the floating. Simpson and AAA pumps are trash. Yeah, I still have a Simpson 4-gallon down in the basement. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I thought about giving it away to somebody on here, but I need to figure out how to orchestrate that. My original lean and mean, the one of one Simpson, the AP one of one Simpson, the one that got it all started. All right. I was thinking about giving it away. Let's see. Can you buy the big boy? Dang, come on, man. I'm here. Camera's like, you're not here. Let's see. Let's see here. Can you buy the big guy? You damn right, dude. Absolutely. I ain't gonna ship you. You got to come down here to get it. If you come down here to get it, bro, you can have it. How about that? How about that? 40, 60 tips. There you go. That's nice. It sounds like you've been thinking about it, Greg. You've been processing what's going on. That's good. There you go. 2025s. All right. I like that. I like that. That's a good ratio. Go on, get you one, dude. Let's see. Let's see. Where's Ricky Tommy been? Need him down in Florida, bro. Yeah, I know. Ricky, dude, he's been working his tail off, man. You know him. He complained about everything, complaining about prices. And he told me he called Cody the other day and Cody was not happy. Ricky said he called Cody down there and he said that he wasn't even wanting to buy nothing. He just wanted to talk about pumps and stuff. And I told him, dude, Cody ain't gonna take kindly to that. You just gonna waste the dude's time. He's like, well, he ought to help me, cause I ain't gonna buy nothing, and he ought to spend his time with me. And I was like, well, that ain't gonna fly good with you, bro. I don't recommend it. You're gonna go bother the man, and you think you just have some. You think he just owes you his time because you saw him on YouTube. Oh yeah. All right. It don't matter. Just get some good tips, get the right tips for your machine. I don't care if the damn thing made out of diamonds. I don't care if it's made out of a trash can lid. If it's got the right tips and you got a good decent machine, hey, that dog will hunt. Hey, bro, I'm happy. I'm so happy for you, dude. I know your story. You're pushing, bro. TC's came to WashCon 2022. Great seeing you in Nashville, and it's crushing out there in Rhode Island, bro. You just putting it to work. You're also an inner circle guy too, so I get to hear from you a lot. Do I know why? No, I don't know why, but but I do know a BE will last you longer than you want to use it. You know what I mean? Whisper Wash is good too. They're both good. Uh, if I owned I don't have a dog in that fight. You know what I mean? I don't really have a dog. If I owned a surface cleaner company, then mine would be the best. Um, and it would not be half the price of anything. People be like, "Why the hell is AP Why the hell is AP surface cleaners? They double the price of a damn Whisper because it's got titanium swivels, bro. That's why." It depends. If it's shipping out on multiple orders, you're not going to get a call back, which it probably is if you ordered a lot of stuff. And usually it's going to get there. If it's an actual issue, um, then email would be best. But they're not going to, because we have guys, a lot of the stuff that goes out at Southeast goes out in multiple shipments, right? Because you get a case, Kim, that's one shipment, right? You get another case of Kim, that's another shipment. You get a tall reach tip and maybe a holder and maybe a fitting that goes in a 9x6, and that's one shipment, right? So you got three shipments. If you get a batch buster system, that's a whole nother shipment, right? It's another box. So a lot of times, two of them, five of them, four of them ship out immediately. Well, the other one they're working on. So you'll get some of your stuff up front, right? But the other stuff, it's gonna be trickling in. And that's why they're very quick to get it out the door. Once it goes to UPS, it's in UPS's hands after at that point. And there's no amount of call. Cody can't find the UPS guy and say, "Hey, where's the stuff?" He has the same access you do at that point. So business save your life and relationship with your children, bro. I love to hear that. Um, it does give you options. And that's really the whole goal. Okay. The whole goal is to be able to to take off when you want, to go on a trip when you want, to put some money away, to be able to hang out with your kids, man. It's really great. I get to hang out with my son whenever he's here with me, man. I get the chance to be present with him, and we can during the summertime, and he's here with me. We can go down to his grandparents' house for a couple days, and that's the whole point of this, man. It's about time freedom, like I say. A lot of guys get it mixed up. Of course, it's about money too. You got to make money to have time freedom. Um, and look, man, a lot of guys have broke mentalities. Well, then you need to email Sterling. You need to email, dude. Don't hash that out on a live. You need to email about that if it's been 2.5 weeks. I'd say probably out of 1,000 orders, they may drop the ball like 3 times, 4 times. So it's probably not that, which is not even a percent of error. Like, that's like completely normal. I mean, Amazon messes up more. I had Amazon a year ago. Amazon delivered like 4 packages of other people's stuff to me. Okay. So, you know, there's errors everywhere. They don't make that many errors over there. Okay. So just email, They'll get you your stuff. They want to get you your stuff. Okay. That's for sure. But on half a pallet. Yep. Yeah. So, guys, if you're in New Jersey and you love Southeast Soft Wash stuff, Mike Turman is a vendor up in New Jersey. So, if you want to be able to go and grab some chems, um, stuff like that. I'm not sure exactly what Mike has in stock yet, but he's got half a pallet. We know that. Should I nail a yarn sign to a telephone pole? Had a sign stolen removed after we could place it. Okay. So here's the deal with nailing yard signs to telephone poles. They have a sign stapler thing that you can get, and you can staple them way up there. The issue you run into that is A, it's going to be there longer because it's harder to get to. B, it's going to piss people off uh, because they can't get to it. Okay. The people who want to pull up your signs can't get to it. So therefore, they'll tell the cops. But here's the thing, never put your personal number on the yard sign. You need to have a burner. You need to have something because they will be calling. Okay. They will be calling to tell you to take it down. And I literally do not care in my soul what they think. I don't give an eon of a shit what they think. I'll market my business how I want to market it. And look, if somebody put one on my telephone pole and I wanted to take it down, I just take it down. All right. I don't care if you do it, but you can't care if I do it. And I believe, coming from the bottom, that a man has to do whatever a man has to do to make his business run. As long as he's doing excellent work, I can't fault him. Okay. I cannot fault him because he has, if he's a crackhead, okay, and he's not doing excellent work, he's not showing up, then I got a problem with it. But your sign shouldn't have your business name on it. Okay. My boy S3 here talks about that. No business name, just pressure washing and the burner phone number. And I will tell you, if they cannot find you, they cannot fine you. So that's my advice on that. All right. Yeah, dude, I will personally look into that for you. Okay. But I already know that it's on the truck because it's on the truck somewhere. All right. Like I said, when it's with UPS, it's just like it's completely out of their hands. Let's see. Yeah, that's how you got to do it. A virtual number. Nice, dude. Absolutely. Well, they say, Aaron, did you know your Daphne High School football picture is still on the wall at Zaxby's restaurant? Saw it a while back. Thought I would tell you, dude. That's cool, man. I ain't been down there into Zaxby's or at the field house in the high school. I know we have a giant photo up there. But I had some great times playing football at Daphne High School. That was a good time, man. I wasn't one of those who just wanted it to end completely. Um, it was some good time, but that's cool, man. I think it's probably the state runner ups. That's what photo you're talking about there. Hey, dude, do it, right? know, do it. Do just Christmas lights if you want. Christmas lights is good money. Um, you got to be in an area where people will pay the money. Okay. Where I was growing up in my era, no one was going to pay that kind of money. But there are in the city I live in now, there are people with a lot of money and they will pay it for sure. They will pay it every year for sure. There's a few things running through Southeast that have AP's name on them. Oh, what are we smoking today? I know you guys like to know. I'm going to start. This segment of the Lean and Mean Academy is sponsored by My Father's Cigars. You would call it Jamie because you're a rookie, and all the people at the cigar humidor shop would know. It's called Jaime Garcia, and you got to say it like that. Jaime, Jaime Garcia. These are what we're smoking today. This is my go-to smoke. It's really great. I mean, they're cheap in relativity, but they're an excellent everyday smoke. If you like Maduro, that's exactly what this is. So, Jaime Garcia by My Father Cigars. My Father Cigars. I used to smoke a lot of Judges. The Judge, the Judge by My Father's a great stick. My favorites are the Padron 1926 currently. That's what we're smoking today. William, reach out to him, either Jill's office and at their number, just call their number and tell them that. Situation like that, I don't know what he'll do. Probably won't care that much, Probably won't even care, but just call him. Dude, I appreciate you, Sterling. What are the limits on a downstream injector? No, you're not going to wash a roof with a downstream injector. The limits on a downstream injector are probably vinyl siding, hardy board siding, maybe painted wood, non-porous substrates that are lightly stained, which is most stuff. Okay. That's the limit. You cannot wash a roof with a downstream injector. And don't need to caveat that. There is not an instance, there is not a day that someone has washed a roof with a downstream injector. You'll be poorly and sadly mistaken when you get there and try to do that. So don't do it. You got to have a higher concentration of of bleach to wash any roof. Way more than the 0.5 to 1.5% that a downstream injector can provide. We're talking about a minimum of 3-4%, going all the way up to 6%, which is my favorite. That lava, that Hawaiian, that Hawaiian lava, that sticky icky, that you know what I mean? It's hot. I like it hot. I like to hit it one time, man. I ain't coming back. I'm hitting it once. We're going to make it right the first time, and we going to head to the house. OG got his first cigar last night, inspired by AP and Andrew Tate. Hey, man, you know what's funny? I have guys who've never watched the channel, and they're not in the inner circle. They don't know me, and they think that like I smoke cigars is like a novelty thing or to look like a mobster. And if they understood my cigar allotment monthly and how many cigars I love to smoke, it's quite funny. They're like, "You're trying to be Al Capone." I'm like, "Bro, I've smoked 2 this morning." Okay. This isn't a hobby for me. We can talk cigars if you want to talk cigars. I love cigars. Cigars are some of my favorite pastimes. I'm gonna tell you, it helps me focus. I get a lot of shit done when I'm smoking cigars. It's just it's just a good time for me. I started making more money when I started smoking cigars. I started hanging out with different people who smoke cigars. Let me tell you, it's not the same as hanging out with people who smoke cigarettes. A lot of people smoke cigarettes, but people who drink bourbon and smoke cigars are a different type of person. Okay. It's a different echelon of people. It's people who have the money to do things. Okay. They have the money to go to the horse race. Okay. They smoke cigars. They drink bourbon. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying you buying a box of cigars is going to change your life. And I'm not going to tell you that you should smoke cigars at all. Okay. It's up to you. But I have developed interests in being around clubs that have cigar guys in them. And all the guys there make money. Okay. And they all smoke cigars. And so I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. I've never smoked a cigarette. I did smoke a little of that tacky years ago. Okay. But I couldn't stay with that. That was a it just got to, because I like to smoke. If I get into something, I I'll get into it. So I had to get away from that because that was starting to make me lazy. Couldn't afford to be lazy. I'm not a lazy person, and it wanted to make me kind of lazy. Although I was very creative. I was very creative. I was creative as hell, dude. I wrote some great songs on that tacky, that sticky yicky. But some great songs came out of that. And I get the musician aspect of that. A lot of musicians smoke that, but I haven't done that in years. But I've actually never smoked a cigarette, which is kind of wild. You know what I mean? I've never even puffed on a cigarette in my life. It's never been something I've been real interested in. But then again, my grandfather had like bad lung situation, emphysema. I mean, he smoked since he was 13 cigarettes. And so watching his deterioration over time probably had an effect on how I feel about cigarettes. But I do love cigars. Let's see, does Facebook marketing really work, and how hard is it for someone who's not good with tech? Who's someone who's not good with tech? I would say Justin's strategy is great if you're not good with tech, because you probably have a Facebook, and it doesn't require, it requires understanding the structure and how he builds the ad. It doesn't require a lot of tech knowledge beyond some clicks and putting in your payment info. But how he structures his ads is really what gets him his results. So if you're not good with tech and you're really trying to run the back end of Facebook ads, it's going to be hard because they build it to be hard. I don't know if you guys understand this, but like Google ads, stuff like that, it's built to be difficult. Why? Because it creates reverence. It creates a community of experts and consultants who have learned how to do it and therefore build reverence to the platform. Okay. Everything, some stuff doesn't have to be hard. And you wonder why Google ads or even the back end of Facebook ads and really dialing it in, really making it convert for you can be hard. Yes, some advanced Facebook ads and targeting and stuff like that is rather challenging to learn. Okay. And there's the reason for that is because if you will spend the eons of hours learning the back end of advanced Facebook ads. I'm not talking about Justin's strategy. He has a proven strategy that's very simple. If you're going to go deep, deep, deep down the rabbit hole, okay, then Facebook and Google want you to learn their platform. And if you invest hundreds of hours learning it, it's very hard for you with the sunken cost mentality to pull away from it. Okay. Sooner or later, you become a consultant. A consultant where? Inside of their platform. So what are you doing? You're out hustling. You're trying to be a consultant, and you're pulling businesses and people in to spend Facebook and Google ads with you. They're spending money with you. Okay. In Google's platform. So therefore it was hard for a reason to create the consultant, to create reverence. So now you're hustling for people to spend money on their platform. Do you see? Do you see? That's why some of this stuff is difficult. It doesn't have to be difficult. The user experience doesn't have to be that challenging. It's difficult on purpose. It's difficult on purpose because if it was easy and every single person could do it, there would be no horde of consultants out there who were experts at it. There wouldn't be no reason to become an expert. Google needs to have a reason for you to invest 100 hours, 200 hours to become an expert. Once you invest 200 hours, you're never leaving because you've invested too much time. It can. Yes, sir. Yeet. Yes. 1.5 using 12 and a half. Yeah. Maybe 1.5, probably 1% or less, depending on what your downstream, or if you're using a skunk valve, like, you know. Nice, dude. Nice. I've never been a derby guy. I went to steeplechase a while back, years ago. I've never been like a horse guy. It's never really captured my interest. But I've I've been to some Kentucky farms and I can see how they make money. It was a challenge for me for years to understand how they make money. Really what it's about is lineage. This is the layman version of how you make money in horses. If you have a horse that has a lineage of winning, the stud fee, my God, the stud fee is insane. Okay. Now, I believe there's a cost for the stud fee of trying. Okay. So to put your mare in, my studs or area, and he's going to try to, make a baby with her. There's a cost for that. There's also a cost if it takes and she gets pregnant. Okay. And there could be mild percentage syndication ownership on the back end. Dude, when you start figuring out how horse racing works, and I'm not an expert by any stretch, I'm a rookie, but I was like, how do they make money on these animals that cost so much to take care of? And he told me about how much it costs to take care of it. It's not insane. Yes, you do have to have staff, but it's not through the roof. They're farriers, they're feeding them, they're housing them, they're training them. But they have the property to do that. But a lot of it is those stud fees. And that stud, you could stud him out hundreds of times a year. I was like, well, shit, I'll buy one. Y'all want to stud this dude out? Can y'all imagine? He said his stud is free with a low close rate. Oh. Stud fees, bro. That's the money. I said, how many times can this dude bang? He goes, infinity. I was like, what? I was like, well, when does he stop? He's like, I don't know, maybe a year or two before he dies, but he could live a long time. I said, bet. I said, I get it. I get it now. This is the money. And then they have percentage deals, they have syndication, I mean, do you want us to take care of the baby horse, whenever it's born, you know what I mean? Like all kinds of stuff. We'll raise it to a certain point and then you take it. Dude, it's wild. It is wild. All to get that little wreath of flowers, bro. I ain't transitioned over to that yet. I'm more interested in Lamborghinis and Ferraris than I am horses, I guess. And that's probably a problem, but I'm interested in a different horse. I love it, dude. That's excellent. That's great. The book on tap for AP. What book am I reading? I've been reading like a lot. I read a lot of stuff from copywriters. That's kind of what I read. If you guys want to read some great copy, read John Carlton. He's just one of the greats. If you get any type of John Carlton ads, and you start really learning how people think and how to sell to people, I thought about doing a course on this, but I don't know if anybody would be interested on how to sell. Because the best way to sell is selling when it doesn't feel like you're selling. Now, there's an overt pitch. Sure, there needs to be an overt pitch. You need to make the customer aware there's an overt pitch. It's one of my favorite ways of selling is to like tell the customer that, of course, I'm going to sell you something. Like I hate all these YouTube guys who are like, I'm not going to sell you anything. And then they inevitably end up selling you something. No, I'm going to sell you. I'm going to sell you something. Like, and haven't I always told you what I'm going to do on this channel? I'm tell you, because what's the point? Like, look, here's the thing. If you're going to resent me for selling, I would rather you resent me now and leave. You see what I mean? And not hang around. Resent me right now and be like, oh, he's going to sell me something. Good, leave. Then me like build all of this fictional goodwill. Like, I'm not going to sell you anything. And then sure enough, it shows up down the line inevitably that he's going to sell you something. Like I talk to Justin about this all the time. I cannot stand people who say they're not going to sell you something. Get out of here. You're selling your long all day long, and people either buy or they don't. So you telling you're not going to sell anything, and then you're giving like all this value. Why are you giving the value if you're not selling anything? Because from the goodness of my heart, lies. It's just lies. And I will never do that. Not to my channel, not to you guys, not to anyone. I literally don't care. I do not care. If guys resent me for selling or whatever, but I will always be upfront and honest. I'm going to sell you something. It's just the big thing is that delivering on the value, right? That's the thing. That's what we all come up against, because if you're not selling your pressure washing services, then why are you in this business? Now, I can sell pressure washing services. You just can't sell me a course to help me get better at a portion of the business I ain't very good at. Oh, that's the elephant in the room. So you could sell, but I can't sell. Got it. Well, let me tell you something. Aaron's going to sell till Aaron passes out, chokes, and dies. That's what I do. I make excellent shit and I sell it. That's what I do. And you know what you should believe? You should believe the same thing. You have excellent services and you sell it. That's what you do. And you should stand up, because what I learned is that thinking, that other thinking, what you gonna sell me? I remember my uncle saying that. My uncle was broke. He was broke. And guys would come up to my dad's shop and they would be, soliciting, right? They would be selling. They'd be doing what they're supposed to do. And my uncle, oh, he gonna come try to sell you something. Like, well, damn, bro. You look like you need to be sold a book or two or a course or something, because you kind of stupid, kind of broke. Sounds like you need to get your mind right. No, but Uncle wasn't going to do that. See, he wasn't going to do that. And so I resent the mentality of resenting the salesman. I actually love a good pitch. I love a good sales pitch. You see, choking on brisket, bro. Wash-a-thon, way back, dude. Wash-a-thon was such a band of misfit toys. Think about the speaker lineup there, man. One's in jail now. Other ones are doing whatever. Who knows what they're doing? But yeah, it was a wild group. I'm glad you're all right, dude. I'm glad you didn't die on the brisket. Nah, bro. He says, is it bleached out? It's just a little fancy pattern. That's all. I ain't opposed. I got plenty of bleached clothes, bro. Heck, half of the wardrobe in there is bleached. The book on tap. Study copywriters. Okay. Study great salesmen. Study it and start to like it. Because to sell, you must love being sold to. I love being sold to, and I love to sell. You can't like selling and dislike being sold to. That is not a frequency that lines up. You have to enjoy the pitch. Enjoy the pitch, right? And what you start realizing is that money becomes more fluid. It's not just hoarding all of it, right? You start buying this, you start purchasing this, you start investing in yourself, you start selling your stuff, dude, and you start figuring out there's a whole other environment beyond the single wide trailer that you did not know about. And look, I grew up in a single wide trailer, okay, so I can talk shit. All right. Hey, bro, it ain't far off from you, dude. It ain't far off, cuz. Fancy patterns, bro. When's the new album dropping? Man, I debated on doing a pressure washing record about toes. And I debated doing a record, from the Ricky Tommy mindset. Because that's the mindset that my channel is here to extinguish. And I'm never going to succeed completely. That's why it's a ministry, if you will. I'm not going to succeed. I know, because broke people are in this game. Okay. Look, pressure washing's easy to get into. It attracts crackheads. It attracts felons. It attracts felons that are not trying to get their life in order. It attracts smart people. It attracts dumb people. It attracts guys with money. And it attracts guys like me who are broke. The problem with that is nothing. But broke mentality is the problem. See, not elevating your mindset on how you think about making money. See, there's things that I don't even talk about on this channel. There's a whole other world. Okay. Like I have a whole nother business starting that will be starting soon, and you'll see it, but I haven't said anything and I'm not going to say anything about it, but you will see it. Okay. You inevitably see it, but it's not for this channel. It has nothing to do with this channel, but you will find that and you will see it. But it's about segmenting your thinking and figuring out how you can elevate your mind to think about money and people who are making money differently. Okay. You have to change that. And look, when I was backed into a corner, I didn't have a choice. Okay. So I said, well, I got a stack of attorney's fees. I'm either going down swinging, bro, or I'm going to come out of this. I'm either going to spiral upward or I'm going to spiral downward. There is no homeostasis. You're either living or you're dying. You're either going up or you're going down. You're never here. And the odd thing about rent is it keeps coming out of the account. So you're kind of going down here if you're homeostasis, if you're static, right? So that's why I recommend that you start loving the sales process, and you start loving being sold to, and you start loving selling, and you start loving psychology, and you start loving the whole process of marketing and building your businesses. Once you fall in love with that, it will all change for you. Once you're open to hearing a pitch of value and maybe even buying, right? You listen to it, you're like, damn, dude, that was good. I need that. I'll buy it. Like you don't meet every single chat or every salesperson with resentment. Like they're going to take something from you. That's old country bumpkin thinking. That's where I came from. I've had to oust that. I've had to start studying great salesmen. And then I've had to have them sell me something. That's what I've had to do. I've had to buy. I've had to take out my credit card and swipe it and buy. That's what I've had to do to burn that old thought process out of me. Because otherwise you're just like always like, I'm never going to do any self I'm never going to buy any course. I'm never going to I'm never going to learn marketing better. I'm going to scavenge everything I can from Google and YouTube for free. Let me tell you something. Like, if he's willing to give it to you for free on YouTube, it's not really what's going to move the needle. Because any man who knows what the needle is, okay, and yeah, maybe you learn how to turn a wrench on there or replace a downstream injector on there, and that's fine. That's not what I'm talking about. If you're learning marketing, you're learning any of these major sales guys, they're not going to give you that because they know what moves the needle. Okay. They know what really is the thing. And you'd be like, man, I could just learn it all here. That's because your thinking is like Milwaukee's best thinking. It's like bottom of the barrel. See, and you actually think that stuff moves the needle. And look, some guys will make 80,000 or 90,000 and they're like, this is amazing. And you know what? It is. It is to them. Great. But they're never going to go beyond that. They're never going to go. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why all of that free content is out there. And that goes for everybody. Okay. The best, even the biggest channel, not even talking about pressure washing, the biggest channels know. They know what moves the needle. Okay. Snap-on thinking is what it is, Justin. And you know about Snap-on. I got to clean with the wet trailer. That's good. With the polyester curtains and the redwood deck, right? Those are great books. Pressfield's War of Art is a great book. What is the scariest thing in my change of mindset? The scariest thing wasn't the selling. It was not being able to see my son. That was the scariest thing. So I really needed that though. Like, my ex doesn't know I'm grateful for it. She thinks she got me. Actually, she got because the funny thing is it turned me into an animal. It turned me into something else that I never was. It morphed me into something I'm proud of, something I'm proud to teach my son. So it gave me a skill set that I didn't have before. And it was because I had, $400K in attorney's fees, like 380 or something like that in attorney's fees. So I was forced into it. So the scariest thing wasn't closing, right? It wasn't pricing high ticket. That wasn't scary. I had to. That's the best part. That's why I feel like I had a cheat code, is because I had to. Some of you guys don't have to. You see, you could just kind of cruise. So it's easy to not do it. I couldn't not do it. And me being backed into a corner made me come out swinging. I always come out swinging. I will never not come out swinging. I like to swing. I enjoy it. It also developed that in me. I was always a fighter before, but now it's just like, I just take zero BS from anyone, whether it's customers, whether it's, people. And I don't care, dude. Like, I literally do not care if everyone unsubscribes, because my income is not determined by YouTube. Okay. It's not. So I can say what I want. That's the point. I'm not dependent on anyone. I got a great woman who loves me, but would my world end if she left? No. And she knows that. And you know what's wild? She appreciates that my world wouldn't end if she left. That's a big reason that she's probably with me. Okay. So understanding that you are your own mental point of origin. Okay. You don't have to. A lot of guys camber off of everyone else. They're not even in their own frame. The scariest thing was becoming in my own frame, I think. Like, not depending on anyone. Like, dude, I'll tell you, the scariest thing happened to me. Like, I lost my family. That was the scariest thing in my mind in 2016 was losing my family, and it happened. Losing what I thought I was going to be forever, right? I'd vowed that. I said that in front of people and a pastor. I said that. The scariest thing happened. Fighting for my son, fighting for the scariest thing happened. So now what happens now, dude, is that once you make it out the other side, you're like, bro, I can make it through anything. So anybody who's talking or wants to talk shit or pull up your yard signs or say something on YouTube, who cares? Who cares, bro? It's absolutely amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And I just don't even know how to teach that, right? I've thought about it a lot. I don't know how to teach it. I don't know how to teach backing you into a corner because I think that's the only way that some people will come out the other side differently. But still, some people, you back them into a corner, they'll spiral down. I just refuse to spiral down. And I don't think that's some superpower. It's definitely not some advancement in like IQ. I have a high IQ, but not that high. So it's like, it's not that. It's just, I was taught by my father. I was like a 185-pound middle linebacker in high school, and I started at a 6A school. Okay, like a lot of my friends went pro. We had multiple guys on that team go pro. So we played with great competition, the best. And I was just mean. I was literally just meaner than everyone. It was not size, it was not speed. It was just like I'm out there and I'm like Rudy, dude. Like that was that if I had a superpower, it was that. It was that I would just keep coming. I would just keep coming and keep coming. I would just hit all night. I would never take a play off. I'm always sprinting to the ball. If there's a way I can hit you, if I look, and I play dirty, dude. I don't play. I will hit you. I will hit you in the chin. I will hit you when you ain't looking. I ain't gonna hit you in the back because I'll get a flag. I ain't gonna hit you, but I'm not trying to go easy on the competition. I'm trying to destroy them. I'm absolutely wanting to torpedo their ship. That's how I thought. And, so that brought over into this. My talking with my dad, I was just like, I don't know what to do, man. It's a very sad time for me. And that type of thinking came into the conversation. So it was just like, well, what did you do then? What did you do then? Well, I just put my head down. I just keep working, keep going, keep working, keep going. And if you just keep working and keep going, it gets better. Damnedest thing. Damnedest thing. Catch a Predator. I got the widest audience for music. That pressure washing record. I didn't die with my ball valve in my hand. Well, I was a young boy, I like an 8-gallon. Don't want that 4-gallon shit. Wu 10 in the house. Do dog. That's exactly it, bro. This is the exact mentality. Drill instructor, you may beat me today, but you will have to beat me every damn day until I beat you. My grandfather's brother, Ellis, he used to tell me this story, and he would what is my lady texting me? She says, "Do you want a cookie? I can slip under the door." You damn right. I do want a cookie. He told me that story where Ellis went to school and he was going to school and there was this bully that kept following him out of school. And he kept messing with Ellis. Ellis would fight him. First day, Ellis get his ass beat. Okay, ride home. got his ass beat, nose bloody. Come back to school. Ellis found that dude. He said, "You and me outside right now." Go out there. Dude would beat Ellis's ass again. Beat his ass again. Next day, Ellis found him again. They go out on the playground. You and me right now. And beat his ass again. Ellis just getting his ass beat. By the 8th day, Ellis just keeps coming. The dude's like, "All right, bro, you win." Like, the dude is just tired. Now they trading blows, right? Ellis eventually get, knocked down, probably get beat. But eventually the dude just quit. And that's how you got to be. It's just so hard-headed. You're like, I will impress myself upon this world. I will make a dent in this situation. You are going to feel me. You are going to hear me. You are not going to just walk around and not know. You're not going to have a choice. See, that's what you have to do. In your business, do not let the public have a choice but to see you. You got to change the positioning and set it up to where they can't not see you. They have to see you. And I go, "Oh, dang, bro. Hold on. She slid it under the door. Give me 1 second. Let's go, bro. What we got here? Look at this. Look at this. I'm telling you, bro. I got a good one, dude. Had to go to Canada to find this one. Shipped her in on a ship. No, just kidding. Canada is connected by land, so you don't have to use a ship. Holy shit. That's great. All right, bet. Better than Otis Spunkmeyer, dude. That takes me back to like 7th grade. Going through what you went through, not a divorce, but a mindset change. Thank you. Yeah, you just don't, like, I don't care. Like, you're not, a lot of guys put the shots they take in their business as the pinnacle shots. Like, they're getting hit by people saying no. So you don't understand, like, I was getting hit by people saying no in my business or turning my ticket down, turning the job down. But I was also getting hit for false accusations in court. Every single month I was in court multiple times. Do you think a little homeowner with a little pea shooter was hurting me? Okay. Some of you guys need a little bit more magnitude of the torpedoes coming at your ship. You'll start realizing that people telling you no is this big. The problem is you ain't got nothing else shooting at you. You damn right. Bro, you are absolutely right. I only one though. Only one. Dude, this is a babe, this is a chocolate chip. This is a chocolate chip. Look at this. Look. I gotta show the world. It's a sourdough chocolate chip. She's like a sourdough expert, bro. As y'all can see. This is I have a guy telling me I'm stealing all of Canada's girls. But it's just one. And it was a good steal too. I'm telling y'all, you lost a good one. But it was just one. No maple syrup. She did bring some though. It's good stuff. That's some good stuff. I'm gonna tell you, if I grew up in Canada, I would have been playing hockey since I was like 3 years old. Since I could put on a pair of skates, I would have been out there on the frozen pond. I would have been the guy. I wouldn't have 2 teeth right here. I'd love that shit. You know, the hockey players, they love that shit. They love it. They love it. I ain't got no teeth. Oh, yeah, you lost your teeth, eh? BC Bud. Nah, we don't go that far. I just want chocolate chip cookie, man. Canada's beautiful, by the way. I went once. I didn't really go to one of the most beautiful parts, but there's a lot of places up there that are just stunning. My girl's from farm country, so he said, "Amen, be a man." Hate a cow pie. I used to throw cow pies at my cousins. That's when you know. You grew up in the country, cuz we used to throw cow doo doo at each other. The rest of those cookies are going down to Cody Yarbrough tomorrow. Bro, Rich, how am I like speaking directly to you tonight? Hockey knocked out his 6 front upper teeth. Dude, hockey guys love that shit. I guess they love it until they don't, right? Like high school hockey, bro. Hell yeah. Walking around the school, bro, with like a tooth missing. I know. Hockey dudes never got away from the mullet either. They've been rocking mullets since the 80s. It's morphed. But in America, we let that shit go. The hockey guys, they've been doing it the whole time. Like they ain't never left. They love it, dude. It's a badge of honor, right? I don't even know who this is. This Cody. Somebody saying she coming up in here like that. It's probably Cody. I don't know if Cody likes gummy bears. I ain't never seen him eat a gummy bear before. Sweet 16, that's Cody. That's code. Cody needs Canadian gummy cookies. Bro, yeah, he can't do that. That'd be washing down chocolate chips with rehabs. You are absolutely right. I got a Monster Energy refrigerator down in the basement. Gets cold, dude. Fill it stock full of rehabs and sugar-free Red Bull. So I love this. I wanted to go a long time tonight just to see if I could and if this would be fun and interesting. And it has been. I thoroughly enjoyed this talking to you guys. But I'm glad a lot of you guys have I get this in my messenger all the time. At least, a couple times a week on how the lean and mean model and the framework has changed your life for the better. And that makes me truly happy. It makes me happy that you guys have gotten something out of our training, out of our courses, and that, like, how we cut the learning curve down. Like, it's so wild to understand like how little some of this stuff costs when you're talking about house wash, and it's priced accordingly. It's the courses and stuff are priced to where you actually can't complain about the price or you sound like a cheap ass to yourself. FYI, I don't think you guys knew that, right? The courses are priced because I know you can do one house wash and pay for it. I know you can because I have a lot. And there's no course out there that is more expensive than one house wash. Some may be bigger houses. I've done houses up to $4,000. I don't even have a course that expensive. So, all right, $4,000 or $5,000. That's probably my biggest house that I've ever cleaned and done. Right around there. Commercial obviously is more expensive, but thank you, Mike. I appreciate that, dude. See, Solo Boss made 1,600. Thank you for the pressure wash contract. If you don't have it, go get it. It is the airtight contract. That contract is the best. Mike Vadan was a mean baller back in the day too, dude. I could bet Mike Vadan was mean as hell. Mike's got that. He's got the swag to be a mean baller for sure. I could see Mike talking shit. Mike's that kind of guy. That's probably why Mike and I are friends, is because um the core four is kind of four egos that have come together and work in a beautiful symphony of synchronization. It's never happened before in the industry ever. We're four egos. Like we all have an ego. Okay. We all believe in ourselves completely, right? And a lot of times those guys can't work well together. But the beauty of the core four is it does work. And Mike Vadan is one of those guys that I know he was an absolute killer on the ball field and running his mouth every second. And I love that shit. I was never the kind of guy to be like, oh, just let your play do the talking. No, I'm going to let my play do the talking. I'm going to put my helmet in your chin and then I'm going to talk shit. That's the fun of it all. That's fun. That's the point. It's all a piece of it. I don't know what this, like, how is it not sportsmanlike to not talk? I feel let down that you're not talking shit to me. Say something. Like, this is fun. Let's go. I'd have more respect for you if you knew how to talk shit. Mike is definitely one of those guys. Sterling, you've been around for a long time. Did you watch my channel? That is true. That is true. Solo Boss made $1,600 today. And my boy Solo Boss Water Attack out in Australia. You see what I'm saying? He's crushing it. So we know. I don't even have a course for $1,600. And he made $1,600 today. So can you imagine the value, right? What if you just learn one thing? Then you go do a house tomorrow and it helps you close something, right? Like we know that. That's why it's priced like that. It's not priced like you're not going to go make a shit ton of money, because a lot of guys are. They want them to, give me $1,000, right? And then go make 300,000. See what I'm saying? That's the beauty of information, regardless if it's mine. The beauty is information. Maybe you start investing in yourself with the core four, right? Maybe that's where you start, but then you go out and you buy an investment course from somebody else. One thing is for sure, if you're like me, I spend a lot of money on information. I have monthly subscriptions to information. They get delivered to my door. Okay. Like I spend money every month. It just drafts. They send me a tracking number. Okay. It will become, getting better will become a habit. And that's what it needs to become. Spending money on yourself. You've never done that. Half you guys, look, dude, I went to community college. Okay. And I got it. The only reason is because I got it for free. Because I was singing in their music program. They would give it to me for free. And some of you guys, the last time you invested in yourself was like welding school. So like the only way to get out is to start writing the check for you. You write the check for everything else, equipment and everything else, but write the check for your mentality, for your mind. Invest in, come to WashCon, come to an event, come sit with us and let us deliver, right? Let us deliver, because we're on the hook for it. When you get there, we got to do it. That's the beauty of buying in. When we get there, we got to deliver. You're obligating me, so obligate me to deliver. You see, that's how you have to be. You have to be smart like that. See, hey, Hoffpower, he was one of them quiet killers. He was on a mission. I'll hit you, but I'll still talk shit. I like talking shit. And hey, you might blindside me next play. That's fine. That's fine. You want to blindside me next play? When I get up, I don't care about the football. I'm coming for your ear hole. Okay. That's how we're going to do it here tonight. We're going to play like that. I love it, dude. You see what I'm saying? I would have taken Hoffpower on my team. I like them quiet guys too. As long as they can hit, baby. He said he wouldn't mess with Mike Vadan back in his day. Oh, hell no, I wouldn't either. Catch a Predator says he's a mean SOB now. All the core four. Well, maybe, and that's funny. Uh, mean is a subjective term. I think somebody saying Baptist guilt, that's probably Cody. Um, from Barrie, Ontario, originally. All the core 4R. I want to address that. Damn, son. That's a lot. This is true. I have noticed that. I will tell you, here's my advice for you guys on women. Find you a woman who is infatuated with you. Okay? Find you a woman who is infatuated with you. Every Disney movie you ever watched was always the dude chasing the girl. Find you a woman who is totally into you, because it's your job to not be totally into her. It's your job to be totally into your purpose. But if you're all into her, how you going to focus on the purpose? And she's kind of like, whatever about you. No. I found one. I knew when I was going back to the well, I said, if I'm going back to the well, I'm going to find me one who is in love with me, how I am, which is ornery. Aaron ain't doing nothing nobody wants him to. Aaron does what Aaron wants to do. That's how I've been. Love me or hate me for it. Don't care. I'll still be smoking a Jaime Garcia and drinking a rehab tomorrow. Okay? So find you a woman who is into you, man. Can't get enough of you. That's the win. Flip the script. You can be kind of into her, but she needs to really be into you. Me going back to the well, doing it wrong, and now wanting to do it right, that is a big flip. That's a big flip. And when you get a little money, you ain't got to pursue. Okay? Because women, because women will pursue you if you got money. Yeah, maybe guys can learn from that though, right? Like if they think that is mean, right? Meanness. What is the core for? They're mean. I mean, I guess I could be considered an asshole. I'm not a dick though. I am an asshole for sure. But all the greats are. All the greats. I'm not saying be a dick. That's different. All right. I don't get drunk, start beating my wife, my girlfriend. That's not how it is. That's a dick. But but having some swag to you, knowing what you're worth, could be considered to the insecure. You're an asshole. And if that is what I would be considered, I'm happy to be that. I'm happy to be that for you. Happy to be that for anybody. Right? You know why? Because if I accept that, here's a hack. The public can never imagine that you would accept and like the names they would call you. Okay? If they call you an asshole and you like it, it completely diffuses anything that they had. So just love every negative thing everyone ever says about you, and they will have no power. I wish somebody told me to this as a kid. Okay? They didn't. I wish they did. You just love it. Like, dude, call you whatever. And you just own it. You know what I mean? Whatever they call you, you just be like, yep. You're in school and they be like, oh man, you gay. You gay as hell. You be like, dude, I'm so gay. What? Like, so what, dude? What are y'all gonna do? If you just own it, you're stupid. Yes, I'm the dumbest. The dumbest possible. I'm the lowest IQ in the building. They're like, damn, he likes that shit. Can't get him. We got to find something he don't like. Right? You got to train your customer, right? If you ain't easily annoyed, you'll step over dollars to get to dimes. Too nice. People who are too nice, they draw boundaries and they're resented by everyone after the fact. It's like negotiating with a mob, right? What does it call it? Sympathizing. Mob sympathizers always get killed. You're like, hey, I'm with you. Don't blow up my store. I believe in your movement and your activistness. Don't
throw bricks through my window, Antifa, because I believe in your movement.
And they go, bust your windows out too. You never sympathize with a mob, ever. You know what you do if little Antifa walks around your store? You sit inside the store on a chair with a Benelli 12 gauge, and you just wait, and you got a laser on that 12 gauge. Just get you a laser. It'd be ridiculous, but for effect. And you just shine that laser through that glass, and you let it hit off of stuff. You let it hit off of stuff. Let it hit off. You sit right in the floor. I guarantee you, the first brick, the first guy who hits that window trying to break, he's going to get a slug. And the rest, the amazing thing is, they all just become unmotivated. It's like instant. See one drop, they become unmotivated. But that's how you got to be. Because otherwise, being a sympathizer, they will burn your building down. You're like, but I'm a part of your movement. They're like, just burning your building down. You tried to make peace. The way to make peace is to walk. What is it? Walk softly, but carry a big stick. He said, I didn't buy all this night vision for nothing. I've been waiting to use this son of a bitch. I've been waiting, guys. Facebook user says, you taught me to be the Ferrari business. I have a ton of competition where I'm at, but I still strive to be that number one service. Ain't got that special education, but that don't mean you can't make that doctor money. And that is absolutely true. Being the Ferrari in the business, you don't have to have any special education. You just have to have courage. You have to have an excellence mindset. You have to deliver on the promise. That's the job. They need to know that if they call you, you're going to deliver. That's what they got to know. That's it. When you call me, you will be satisfied. People will give you their money hand over fist over and over again if you will just do that, and you will ensure them of that. Now, you don't have to verbally do that. There's ways to do that beyond saying, I will do everything. No, I'm not saying do that, right? There's a way to ensure them, and it's to walk in the certain way. Wallace Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. Great book. If you haven't read it, you should read it. It's like from 1920, 1924 or something like that. Science of Getting Rich talks about operating in the certain way. And I had to learn about this passage from a guy who came and spoke to us when I was selling insurance. I was like 19, and the guy was talking about this book. This book really changed my life. It was one of those books that really taught me about goal setting and the power of writing down goals in exacts. Okay. Cody Yarbrough knows. If he's watching this right now, like, he knows. Companies had a goal, and we've hit that because A, because we work hard, but B, it's been written down. It's been carved in pen as a contract to ourselves, right? To make this number happen. And it's happened over and over and over and over again. And Wallace Wattles talks about this in the book, in the magic of the science of getting rich. It's a science. And in thinking, and he talks about the certain way. Now, this was the wild, weird thing about the passage. If you ever had anybody read a Bible passage to you, and somebody reads it one way, and it hits you one way, and then a whole different pastor reads it a different way, and it hits you a completely different way. It's the same words, but it hits you in like a completely different way. This is what this did. He said, you must walk in the certain way. You must operate in the certain way. And let me see. I'm going to see if I can find this and put it on the screen for you. Let me see. Wallace. This is important. Found it. Did I find it? Let me see. Here it is. This guy's got a damn story. Acting in a certain way is part 7. Bro, this is the gold. This is the chapter. Knowing. So certain way. All right, let's get into this. My IG is just Aaron Parker. AARON Parker. You guys see this? It says it's sharing. Okay, well, this is this lady's version, but this is part 7 in the book. But the certain way. This is important. What is the certain way? Describes it as basically knowing that you are creating, knowing, not thinking, that you are creating your own experience with your thoughts and the actions that grow out of those thoughts, which will make you a person who takes an audit of their mind. Okay? So you stop walking slumped over, defeated. You stop walking like a schmuck and you start walking like the warrior that you are. You stop caring. This is what it is. Knowing. It's not thinking that you are creating your own experience with your thoughts. So we must not only think, we must act on our goals too. By thought, he believes you can cause the gold in the hearts of the mountains to be impelled towards you. But it will not mine itself, refine itself, or coin itself into the double eagles and come rolling along the road seeking its way to your pocket. Wallace also says that your thought makes all things animate and inanimate work to bring you what you want. Now, here's the wild thing. Your personal activity must be such that you can rightly receive. So the activity, the personal activity must be right so that you can actually harmonize with the frequency of the thought. So you have to pair the thought. It's like a radio tower. You're dialing a frequency to abundance. You start learning about the broke thinking that your family had, and you start getting rid of those thoughts. And what you can't just get rid of them, you got to replace them because they don't go away. So you got to replace them with a different type of thinking. Okay? You got to replace them. That's the key. Replacement with abundance, with I'm going to get it, with others are going to win too. And I hope they do. Right? That's the key. The scientific use of thought consists in forming a clear and distinct mental image of what you want, writing it down, and holding fast to the purpose to get what you want. So pairing the action with the thought, with writing it down, and walking in a certain way, knowing that you are creating. I create. This is how I sat with like crazy level producers as a brand new artist in Nashville. This is how I was meeting people that no one meets. Mutt Lang. I was sitting with Mutt Lang for 4 hours in New York listening to music, records. Mutt Lang produced AC/DC, Shania Twain, and he wanted to do a record with me. And I was not at the place where he should technically want to, but I'm going to tell you, I wrote his name down in my journal 3 to 4 months prior to us meeting and Universal Records setting that up. Dude, if you don't read this book, you're an idiot. That's what I'm saying here tonight. Read this and study it. Impress your thinking on the formless substance. So the formless substance, explains Wallace, has the same desire for more life than you have. Upon receiving your vision, you can impress like a stamp. It sets all the creative forces at work. So if you're going to stamp something, say you want to stamp a coin, a double eagle coin. Well, you can't just scribble something on there and stamp it. No, you got to be concise. Do you realize how concise a coin is? all of the feathers of the eagle, the head of, George Washington carved and raised, and the lettering is carved perfectly and legible and straight. Do you see how concise impressing something on the formless like a stamp? It must be concise. The vision must be concise. You can't go out there with, I just want to make more money. Write down how much you want to make and watch how fast, if you walk in the knowing, watch how fast God, the universe, God is the universe. It's the same. It's the same guy. He created the universe. Watch how fast it conspires to get it for you. What I did learn is that when it comes to manifesting people, like I manifested those meetings, you can't control who those people are when you meet them. Okay. Yeah. I wrote down Mutt Lang wants to do a record with me. Yes, he did. That happened. But I didn't like him. He wanted to control everything. I didn't write this down. I didn't write down that he wanted to keep all the publishing and basically me make like 5% of the publishing. I didn't write that down. I should have wrote it down. I wasn't concise enough. I basically had a coin with like one letter on it, and the eagle was all shabby and looked like it had been drawn by a 5-year-old. And I was impressing it upon the formless substance. And I had like one piece that was legible. Yeah, I met him and he wanted to do a record, but the deal was shit. See? So you got to be concise when you're walking in the certain way. There will be a time coming in the future where you will start to see all the things that have manifested because of this. Okay. And this comes from God. They're not separate. They're not separate. "14 years old, Charlie, I'd go knocking on every single door. You're 14 years old, I'd walk around and knock on every single door. And I would clean every single house possible. All right. Let's jump into this one more time. Hold faith. It's wild how many people want to talk about faith and they can't even believe in themselves. They can't even believe in the next week. How are you going to believe? How are you going to have faith? I see this, dude, all the time. It's like little churches, they have the least amount of faith. And I grew up in one. It's like they're always struggling to find money and they're very scared of everything. They're scared of every movement. And, there were churches all the time. They were just closing because of COVID. It's like, this was the test. Like, this was the chance. He's like, hey, see if you close. They're all like, no, we're closing. We're doing what the government says. It's like, have you no faith? Pissing me off. Hold with faith and purpose the vision of yourself in the better environment, walking as you are knowing. Your chest is out. You know where you're going, but act upon your present environment with all of your heart and all of your strength and your mind. So you must know where you are going, but you also must be aware of where you are right now. Your vision and faith will set the creative force in motion to bring it towards you, and your actions will cause the forces in your environment to move you toward the place you want. Remember, Wallace says there is a thinking stuff. This is the quote of the night. And this is something that he says all the time. There is a thinking stuff from which all things are made. A thinking stuff in which all things are made, in which in its original state permeates, penetrates, and fills the inner spaces of the universe. A thought in this substance produces the thing that is imaged by the thought. If you will put weight on this, and if you read your Bible at all, you will start finding that this is written as well. It is written as well, my friends. All of this stuff. In order to do this, you must move from the competitive to the creative mind. You must have a clear mental picture of what you want. Hold this picture in your thoughts with fixed purpose and unwavering faith. And you must act now and take efficient action, which they'll cover in the final part. Get the book. It's one of the best books you're going to read. All right. Half power, you're going to do it, bro. Do that too. Half power says get the how to wash course and learn. Good. Do it. You'll learn a lot. It's like 6-7 hours worth of content in there. You will learn a lot, and you get to keep it forever. You can study it. I think that'd be a good investment. So what the cool thing is, I stayed on here for 2 hours and 20 minutes. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I'll probably delete this live. I just wanted to make a live and come on here and chat with you guys. So I hope you all have a great night. I'll be headed down to Alabama tomorrow to work on a few skunk projects that we have in the works. But I'll see you guys in the next video.